at the same time appointment and retirement of directors. So appointment and retirement of directors are also will be done in the AGM. So in the objectives we mentioned only the reappointment of directors, but here so appointment and retirement of directors will also done in the AGM. So dividend distribution, annual account submission, auditors and directors reappointment and retirement will be done in the AGM companies only. So when AGM, in the AGM meetings of a company only. So then what is the time period of AGM? So we mentioned, right, so statutory meeting, we mentioned in the statutory meeting, compulsory statutory meeting is to be conducted in every lifetime of a company, and it should be conducted in a minimum 6 months, not more than not 6 months, and within not less than 1 month we say. But whenever we are coming to the AGM, so AGM needs to be conducted within 18 months. So within 18 months of corporation, within 18 months of the incorporation of a company. So that means whenever the company gets the certificate of incorporation, so immediately after getting the certificate of incorporation, within 18 months the company needs to conduct the AGM. So in that AGM also, so every year one AGM needs to be conducted by the company. So in that AGM, so if two AGMs are conducted in 2 years, right, so the time gap between the two AGMs, whenever they are conducting the two AGMs, that means one AGM in 1 year and second AGM in second year, so between the two AGMs, the gap between the two AGMs must not be more than 15 months, right? So more than 15 months gap should be there, and it should not be conducted later than 6 months. So the gap should not later than 6 months and should not more than 15 months. That means the time gap should be between 6 to 15 months between the two AGMs of a company. So other than this AGM, so if there is any needed between these two AGMs, if any meeting is to be conducted in the company, if it is needed, then at that time one meeting is to be conducted between these two AGMs. That meeting is known to be as a subsequent AGM. So subsequent AGM is not an AGM, it is a subsequent to AGM if it is needed by the company. So which is a separate and distinct meeting, which is also conducted in every calendar year. So apart from the AGM, that is known to be as a subsequent. It is subsequent to AGM, no? So that's why we can call it as a subsequent AGM. So then what is a notice? So here the notice of AGM. So notice of AGM is same like statutory meeting. So in the statutory meeting we discussed, the notice should be sent by the directors of a company. The notice should be sent by the directors of a company within 21 clear days. So here also we need to send that notice of AGM, so within 21 clear days to every member of a company, that means every shareholder, so to every legal representative, so every legal representative of a company and every official assignee, so every official assignee, and to every auditor of a company. So for these members, to every auditor, every member, every legal representative of a company, every official assignee, we need to send the notice, and when it is to be conducted. So that means what is the time, date and place of AGM. So same like statutory meeting, here the AGM needs to be conducted only during the business hours, on the working days, business days only. It should not be conducted on a public holiday. So and at the same time it is to be held at the registered office. So if the registered office place is not convenient by the shareholders and the directors, then they can conduct the meeting whichever is convenient by them. So whichever is convenient by them, so the meeting may conducted at that place, right? So this all is about the annual general meeting of a company. Okay, thank you.